Hey guys, and welcome back to episode 4 of season 4 on the Fergie way. Of course, in yesterday's episode, Dybala managed to grab himself a debut goal in the Northwest Derby against Liverpool. It was the winning goal as well, and I have to say it was an absolute belter. Not only that, Rashford's cheeky little lob was absolutely top notch. In today's episode though, we are heading down to Stamford Bridge to face Chelsea. A different sort of challenge. We have got a decent strength team at the minute, however we are lacking some injuries. And in other news, Paul Pogba, all of a sudden, once we've signed Sanchez up to a new contract, has become the focus of Real Madrid's attention. But let's face it, after what they got dealt with last year, they know they're not going to get him, and it's certainly not going to change this season. So before we get into anything though, guys, I would just like to ask you a quick question. If you remember, everybody was asking for the tactic, and I did a tactic video for the channel last season. I was just wondering if this season, if anyone wants any tips or help with anything that I can put a video together, shove on the channel for you guys. So if you bang in the comment section now, I'll mention it now. I've been playing Football Manager for 20 years. Doesn't make me an expert. I'm not an expert at absolutely everything, but if anyone needs any sort of guidance or help around any facet or aspect of the game, if you give me an ask, shove it in the comments section. I'll look to make some videos, bang them out on the channel, and any way I can help, I will do, guys. So it was just a quick one, so shove it in the comments, that'll be grand. So Paul Pogba, Real Madrid have now turned their attentions to him. Once again, they're talking about launching a massive, £66 million bid. His head's not been turned. They've not approached him yet. They're not chasing him and watching him after every game. That might start to change, but at the moment we're safe. I would like to think, after him winning the Ballon d'Or, getting himself another Premier League trophy, FA Cup winners medal, and of course us hoping to have a good run in the Champions League this year, his head won't be turned, but you can never be quite sure, can you? In other news, the club have come to me and offered me a new contract, a 5-year deal at £160,000 per week with a £750,000 bonus if we win the Champions League any season after this one. Not that it matters, of course. It's not like I've just raked in a load of money for doing this. It's more a case of stability. So the club have come to me, signed me up on a 5-year deal. Gives us a little bit more stability. If anything was to go wrong, we should be in with a shout of staying, but let's face it, we're hoping that's not going to come to it. And as you know, there's only been one game since the last episode, and the only thing that's happened is Rashawn Williams has managed to pick himself up a little injury. It's only going to keep him out for 2 to 3 weeks. So we are going to be without Rashawn for the next few weeks, but to be honest, our central defensive sort of pairings are pretty good at the moment, so it's one that we can live with. And as we look at the schedule, as you can see, we played Manchester City, it was in the AFL Cup, and we come out winners, which, you know, in the grand scheme of things, it might be like, oh, well, you won, la-di-da. They knocked us out in the semi-finals last year, having won it the previous year. So it was a little bit of a blow to get them so early, i.e. our first opportunity this year, and to knock them out of the competition felt absolutely fantastic. We went through on penalties in the end. Dybala scored the winning penalty. I didn't start him in the game. In fact, I didn't start many of the players in the game. We'll just bring it up on the side of the screen here. You can see I've got the likes of Donnarumma, Rashawn Williams, you've got Fosu-Mensah in there, Gribbin. You know, I did play Juan Mata now because, of course, he's sharing his position with Rodriguez. But I did start with Burkhardt and Martial. Burkhardt got injured or just played. In fact, no, he played absolutely shite. So I brought on Dybala. It was in like the last 20 minutes of the game in extra time. And he scored the winning penalty, which is grand. Donnarumma saved 3 penalties, which is also great to see. So yeah, that was that. That was the only game we've played. So today will be a short and snappy episode, because right now we're going to head over to game day against Chelsea. En route to game day, guys, you know this always happens. We've been here before where I say I'll see you on game day and then I just appear with something else to say. But we have had the 4th round draw for the FL Cup, so we'll draw them one by one. We're just going to see if we're going to get an easy run this time round. It's not going to happen. We've got West Ham at home as well. Saying that, that'll be easy enough. I can see the young lads doing quite well against them. So yeah, West Ham in the next round of the FL Cup. Probably not one that we'll live come, I'll be brutally honest, because really it's not that important to us as a cup. Until we get to maybe the semi-final, I can't really imagine that I'll be live coming many of the FL Cup games. So here we are then, guys, on game day. As I said, we're down at Stamford Bridge against Chelsea, so we will start with the home team. So they've got Courtois in net with Leon, Christensen, Zuma and Visaka at the back. They then have N'Golo Kante with Kranjčar and Mario in the middle, with Hirving Lozano and Willian on the wings, and Mario Mandzukic still going. Let's just take a quick look at Mandzukic. And wow, 33 years old, still got it going on though, where he needs to. I mean, much like Zlatan, his physical presence is good. Obviously not going to be the quickest, so they shouldn't be looking to bust the back line. But nonetheless, just good to see him still playing. Especially when you consider that we're in now effectively the 4th season from when you start the game. So yeah, good to see. Anyway, onto our squad, and it is pretty freaking strong. I'm liking these players that we've added because it is making us look very, very well-rounded when it comes to world-class players. So we'll start with David De Gea in net, then we have Alaba at left back, Bayern Romagnoli in the middle, with Darmian at right back. We have Ruben Neves playing a defensive role with Sanchez and Pogba either side of him. Then we have Rodriguez as a trequartista, Dybala as a complete forward, and Martial up top. Rashford still carrying a little injury. Hopefully he'll be back for the Barcelona game, but at the moment this is what we've got. Don't have any strikers on the bench, so if anything happens up top, young Callum Gribbin might have to step in there. As we know, he looks like he's got the qualities to be a striker, but I don't know. as I say, you look at his composure. In fact, while we're here, we've got time because it's only going to be a short episode. We take a look. As we can see, he's finishing 14, composure 14, anticipation 14, first touch 17, decisions okay, only being 12. But I mean, genuinely, I've seen strikers with worse stats than that who have gone on to do very, very well. So not that I'll be looking to play him as a striker, but certainly if we absolutely had to, we could. But we'll head over to Roy, see what he has to say in the opposition instructions. How's it going there, Roy? Rumour pain and all that jazz. Interesting. He wants to close down N'Golo Kante and Mario all the time, and he's only hard tackling Mario, but we're gonna have him hard tackling these wingers as well. Don't think there's any point in hard tackling Mario Mandzukic because he's a bit of a tank. He's going to be able to take a bit of a kick. And other than that, we're on to the team talk. This time, we're going to calmly say the media have been praising you lately, and what's interesting is Eric Bailly looks stressed. Now, we don't normally see that. Sometimes we don't get all greens, and this is one of those situations. But we don't often see any reds. So if he doesn't come green now, which is not done, we're going to keep an eye on how Bailly does, because I've got Smalling on the bench as well, which is, he's more than good enough to step into Bailly's position. It's just we're trying to back Smalling off a little bit with some of the younger defenders that we have coming up. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he progresses. But of course, Dybala off the back of scoring on his debut, so hoping for a good game from him today. And of course, James Rodriguez, who started at the club very, very well. So it's the first highlight. We're not really going to see much here, but hopefully in this one, we might get a little bit of something. It's Pogba now to Sanchez. Sanchez with a little burst of pace, trying to get forward. He's been pushed out wide to the right, though, as he puts a low ball in, straight into Courtois' hands. But we have only got 1 minute on the clock. That was the first attacking highlight that we've seen. The ball's now with Dybala. Pogba. Dybala. Dybala has the ball took off him by Kante. It's Romagnoli now to Darmian. Sanchez. Dybala again to Martial. It was a great ball. Martial from distance. I had visions of that going straight in the top corner. It didn't. It went over the bar, unfortunately for the lad. But the ball is now with Chelsea. But we've won it back. Paul Pogba now to Dybala. A great ball to Martial. Basically, Dybala is naturally a complete forward. He's naturally playing the role that we had Zlatan playing in the first couple of seasons. And he's coming very deep to get the ball, and it's working a treat. It's something we've not seen since Zlatan was, you can't really say in his prime, but when he was first at the club, he still had a bit of legs about him, had a bit of nous about him. So hopefully, Dybala coming deep here is going to be plugging that gap, creating space up at the top of the field for the guy to break the last man. As Mandzukic hits one from distance, it was pushed out by De Gea. I'm not sure he even had to touch it. It looked like it was going wide. But it's Leon now on the corner for Chelsea. It's cleared, but only as far as Leon, who whips it back in fast. It's out with Hirving Lozano now on the edge. Jean Mario, well played Romagnoli, took the ball off him. Danger averted, but Mario Mandzukic has picked up a little niggle. So we'll go to opposition instructions, and now we will give him a little bit of hard tackling, see if we can force him off the field. Sanchez is in trouble here. I've not seen what's gone on. No booking, no, thankfully. We know Sanchez has got a little bit of a mean streak in him. A red card has been flashed once before, maybe even twice. It's Mandzukic now. It's cleared out now. Martial, he's on his own up the top of the field. He's been pushed out to the left by Zuma. Zuma has got him in his pocket though. Wins possession back for Chelsea. And it's with Kante playing it back to Courtois. It's cleared upfield. Mandzukic whips in front of Ruben Neves, but we still have possession. It's Rodriguez down to Dybala to Martial. That was great play, but I reckon between Rodriguez and then Dybala, they probably could have had a crack themselves, but it was almost like they were just trying to pass it about too much. It's Pogba now. To the edge to Darmian. Darmian scoops one over the bar. Positive start though, 25 minutes in. It's pretty much been all us. Dybala had been caught offside, not for the first time in the game, and Mandzukic has got the injury, so the hard tackling has worked out there. They have started Solanke. If you remember, Solanke last season picked up a couple of Young Player of the Award, so he's going to be a danger himself. We just have to see if we have to play a little bit deeper with him. So it's Martial. Christensen wins the ball back. It's Visako. I think it's Visako. It's the way I see it. It's the way I'm going to pronounce it. It's Cranenvitter. Visako plays it into Willian. Now he is behind the back men as he lays it back to Solanke, and the substitute has made the difference for Chelsea. Right on the stroke of half-time, they've managed to nick themselves a goal, and in my opinion it's been against the run of play as Willian gets behind the men, plays it across. Solanke had all the time in the world to just run straight onto it. He levers it past De Gea. De Gea had no chance, and it looks like we're going to have to start making some changes early on now. So we're going to come out in the second half, we're going to be attacking. Look, we're seeing yellows, and I didn't want to see yellows. Assertively show me something else in the second half. Eric Bailly, 6.9. He's not doing bad yet. We will keep an eye on him. We'll possibly bring on Chris Smalling later on in the half. I'm just going to go to my instructions as well, get the guys passing into space, and we're going to play a little bit more direct, and we're going to play a lower tempo rather than a much lower. You're used to the way I do this now, guys, when the sort of arse is against the wall. Passionately, I've faith in these guys to make a difference. We're just going to try and get greens going off everywhere. Not sure it's going to happen, no. Well, we're only missing 2, which is good. So we're into the second half then. First highlight, I wouldn't expect any fireworks here, but unfortunately they were attacking, which looked a bit dangerous. Foul by Martial. Don't be doing stupid shit like that. No, he's alright. He's only had a talking to. He's not even been booked, which is good. As I say, we've come out more attacking now, so I'm hoping to see our attacks go up a little bit more. We've played alright, but we've not... Oh, Romagnoli, what are you doing? Why are you even letting him in? Romagnoli there, almost like walking towards the ball. I don't know what he was playing at. It's Pogba to Martial. So Rodriguez to Sanchez. Dybala in the area. Looked like Sanchez got a little bit of a snap in there when he got into the area. 2 men close him down. Wasn't the case though. Rodriguez is going to whip this in. It's out with Sanchez. Pogba. Back to Sanchez. Romagnoli now with a crap ball over the top. It has to be said. The ball is with João Mario of Chelsea. 60th minute, time to start looking at making changes, and the disappointing thing is Martial's playing a 6.4. He's looking fired up. 6.4 is just not good enough. Rodriguez is the same, so Rodriguez is definitely coming off the matter. And I think I'm going to chance Gribbin, you know, because I don't have many other choices. I'd probably rather play Gribbin as a complete forward though. At least he'll be sat back a bit. And get Dybala on the last man, which is where he scored his goal against Liverpool. Hopefully these changes can make a little bit of a difference. We're going to give the guys an assertive demand more, because we need to get them to push right up the pitch. Now we want them to be playing a much better game. But we are down to 20 minutes left, and we need to see whether these changes are going to give us anything as Sanchez picks up a booking. It's Højbjerg on the field now for Chelsea. He did take a shot from distance. It went over the bar though. But Chelsea have come right back into this game. They really have. It's Mata. It's a Dybala. Dybala's running into no man's land there, unfortunately for him. As he waits, so he gives it Pogba. Sanchez. Renato Sanchez. Falls with Mata. Dybala's got it on the edge. He's gone out to the left. Is he going to get a cross? And it was a poor one. Courtois managed to save it. Oh, it's all going on. Neves back to Dybala. Offside, unfortunately for him. We're just going to go to the overview tactics. We are going to put these guys on attack just to try and get a little bit of something from this. We'll bring Neves back here. We will drop him to a half-back on the hope that he'll plug that gap if the wing-backs get forward. Confirmed changes, quarter of an hour left now. Obviously playing much more of a diamond with Neves dropping into that space. 10 minutes to go, come on. I mean, we're not even getting a highlight. Nothing. We've had nothing. Here we go, Darmian now. Bad throwing, it was straight to Højbjerg. What is going on? Alaba now to Bailly. Come on, guys. Pump it forward for crying out loud. Passionate let, push forward. It's out with Damian. Damian's got a chance to whip in a fucking Jesus Christ. What a shite cross. All the time in the world to put a decent ball in. Then he got behind every man. It came to nothing on the final highlight. Looks like we're going to pick up yet another defeat. We've been on a decent run lately. Oh, Mata, Dybala, get in! Last kick of the game. Look up at the top of the screen there, guys. There's 20 seconds left. Dybala has come up trumps yet again. Once again, just as we were conceding defeat. A great, well, Mata, it wasn't a great, the ball came from deep in midfield. Dybala managed to get onto a loose ball and has managed to snatch us a point in this game. He took 3 points in his last game for the winning goal against Liverpool. He's managed to grab us a draw in this one. And I don't know how we're ending up in these positions because I think the squad looks better than it ever has before, but we keep ending up in these really poor positions where we're chasing games. And when we're a team that are aspiring to win the Champions League, the lads are going to have to buck up their ideas. Going to tell them here that they were shite, basically not good enough and we should have been winning. I am, however, going to let Dybala know that he did okay today. Proud of your equalising goal and the way you played. It's made Paul Pogba switch off. You know, there's not, you can't please bloody everybody as the top and bottom of it. However, a 6.2 from David Alaba is absolutely shocking. Not happy with his performance today. And he's switched off and Pogba's all of a sudden fired up. You know, so yeah, well there you go. Bailly is the one who switched off. Wind your neck in Bailly. So yeah, interesting game, interesting team talk. I think morale in general has done okay, but well done Dybala for nicking that goal at the end. So there we go then, guys. That is the end of tonight's episode. As I say, a touch shorter than usual because there wasn't much in the way of the news. And tomorrow night's episode is going to be exactly the same because we once again face Barcelona in the Champions League. We've played them 2 seasons on the bounce. Last season and the season before were both in the knockout rounds, the later stages. This time it's in the groups. And let's hope we can continue our winning form against them. If you've enjoyed today's episode and that literally last gasp, last kick of the game goal from Dybala, don't forget to hit the like button. It helps the channel out tremendously. If you remember earlier on, I did ask you a quick question about any videos you guys would like to see. Shove it in the comments section. If you're new around here, hit the sub button. I hope to see you in tomorrow night's episode. I've been Teacher FM, and I'll catch you later. See you in a bit.